Alrighty, everyone, I'm Blaze here. I just want to talk quick about Green, P99 Green since it came out. I've got a few good things to say about it and a few of my opinions on it. So let's get into it, shall we? So, on the 25th, Rogan, the lead for P99, the server opened, and a lot of really interesting things about it are there. They brought back a lot of the old mechanics of, this was one that was crazy. The classic lighting mechanics. So on P99, so the thing is, I prefer to play as humans. I don't really like the other races that much in terms of their aesthetics. I prefer to just play the human. Barbarian's pretty cool too, and XR. But it was so dark playing as a human bard on P99 that I had to re-roll to half elf, to at least something that had night vision. And even that was still kind of bad. The infravision was nothing compared to ultravision or dark elf illusion, so that's why I was always dark elf on P99. And even here on live, you'll notice I go dark elf illusion a lot, just because it helps you see better. That's kind of why one of my favorite songs to play is actually Psalm of Cooling. It's a damage shield song that bards get with a bit of fire resist added on, but it also has ultravision. So it's kind of weird. If it fades off, you'll see my screen goes darker, and then when it comes back on, my screen gets really brightened up. It helps out a tremendous ton. But it's nice how this new green server, it's been, I think, 10 years since P99 came out, and to have a fresh start for people where it's going to continuously reloop, and it's going to be content and patch releases that are going to be chronologically correct. It's going to be really interesting to be able to experience that, I imagine, for a lot of people. It's something that is going to be maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to experience that. So I'm really happy. I think it's going to be a really exciting experience, and as well, it's probably the closest recreation that we have to what it was like to play the original game, to play the original EverQuest. So I imagine a lot of people are having a tremendous load of fun doing it. I remember also seeing meditation. That was something crazy to see how that panned out. So one of the things I saw with the classic mechanics was that you had to actually open up the book and then click meditation, and then that's how you would actually meditate, as opposed to just sitting down, which is kind of crazy, really kind of crazy in my opinion. As well as having the old UI, where I think you could only have it only lets you have 6 hot buttons. You didn't have a pet window. You didn't have a lot of convenience features that were available that you have even on later P99 or on live. And I think one of the aspects that appeals to me the most is the whole reason I play EverQuest is the Bard class. Max level on EQ1 playing Bard, max level on EQ2 playing Troubadour, the Bard class there. It's the whole class. It's the whole reason I play this game, because I feel like it's one of the most unique classes, and it kind of embodies who I am in real life. I'm a songwriter. I love music. I write a lot of music. I sing, play guitar, piano, ukulele. But I'm also sort of a jack of all trades. I do a lot of other stuff on the side, and that's kind of what the Bard class is. It embodies all of that. So I sort of miss how it was playing Bard in those older times, in that a lot of the bards that I see on live, they're just melody bots. No one's actually actively playing them or taking advantage of the abilities that they have. It's kind of sad, to be honest. It's such an incredibly powerful class, but I don't really see people actually making full use of its abilities. And I kind of miss prior to Melody when you had to manually twist, because I felt like it kept a lot of the riffraff out of playing the class. It made it a lot more inaccessible, so that if you did meet a bard, it was much less common. It was more rare. But if you did meet them, they probably knew what they were doing. They're probably worth their salt, which is something that really appeals to me. It really does appeal to me. I liked how it was the most active class you could possibly play. How even during downtimes, you'd have to be twisting constantly 4 songs. You'd be wanting to twist Cantana with Cassandra's 3 times. You want to be twisting so much, as opposed to just sitting here playing a melody command. Yeah. A lot different. I sort of miss how it's prior to a lot of their abilities getting revamped or nerfed to some extent, a lot of their soloing abilities. Although there's a cap to the number of mobs that the PB AoE songs that bards have would take effect on until a certain era, until a certain patch date on live. Yeah, there's a certain appeal to the difficulty that was in classic EverQuest, where every item was much more hard-earned, of where every mechanic was a lot more punishing. I feel like it made the game more rewarding in many regards, and that's an aspect that made the game so lovable to a lot of people. In that it didn't spoon feed you anything. It didn't just hand things to you off the bat. Every item that you got was hard earned. You got this big dopamine rush as you got that item. But I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea. I really like my time on P99. I really wouldn't trade it. And I don't really like talking trash about the server, because there's sort of this feud between Live and P99, and we all love the same game, regardless. We all love the same game, and I think we may just like a different aspect of it. We may like a different way that was played or different mechanics to it, but it's still the same game at the end of the day, and I think we can all appreciate that. Honestly, there's a few things stopping me, personally, from playing Green, from playing that. Although it wouldn't be necessarily bad to try it out, but I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of my time there, because honestly, a lot of the changes that have happened on Live have been in terms of quality of life features, in terms of time sinks. So not having to wait 30 to 40 minutes for a boat, or because you have translocators, and having the origin feature, and having the advanced loot window, and having a lot of these quality of life features are really incredible, as well as instancing. I think instancing is actually the biggest quality of life feature that makes me like Live. Even though I feel like Live bards suck a lot more than P99 bards, the amount of quality of life features that kind of counterbalance, I feel, what was taken away from the bard class, make me want to stay. It's kind of sad, because I really wish I could play the old version of the class, but still have the newer quality of life features. But unfortunately, those two can't necessarily be reconciled. The fact that you can have multiple different instances up of, say, a grouping zone up at any time, so that you don't have to compete with the 100 other people that are in a zone. You can eventually find an open camp. That was something that was really nice. And the fact that if you wanted to do a lot of this advanced raid content, there's only one of these raid mobs that pop once every 7 days on P99 in many cases. And if you're not in that top tier raiding guild, good luck. Good luck. You're not going to be competitive enough if you're not willing to log on at 2 a.m. in the morning, especially when you get work 3 hours later. The game isn't as feasible for people who have a bit more responsibilities as they get older, and that's honestly my own case. I need to work more. I need to spend more time in school, and I can't really devote as much time to EverQuest, to a lot more of the time sinks. That's one thing where I really feel like instancing is a godsend, because it let me experience content and get all my epics, unlike P99, which I was never able to do. And I think one of the things I was really excited about too with live is that it gets kind of stale playing up to Velius eventually. I never really got to experience Luklin or Planes of Power in Era, and that's something that I'm really excited about because it's new content, first of all. But one of the things I like the most is when you get to max level on P99, you get your epic, there really isn't any major progression you can do anymore. When you got the best gear, you know, I've got 3 characters here that have epics. My bard right here is NTOV geared. He's got some of the best gear in the game. But if I was playing on P99, this would kind of be the end for him. You know, there's no reason to play him anymore. He's already at max EXP. If I just group with him, it'd be a waste of my time. He's not going to earn anything for it. So that's why I really like how in Shadows of Luklin they came out with AA systems of that. You could play your max level character that was uber geared, that held the best stuff, that had all their abilities. You don't have to play a level 1 toon that's crippled in some regards. You get to play the characters that you actually want to play, the characters that are loaded out. That's something that I really like. You know, you don't want to play a weak character, you want to play a character that's strong, that you spend all the time on, and that's something that I appreciate about how in latter expansions they opened up further progression. Because I felt like that was one of the issues with P99 is you're playing, yeah, it's sort of a history or a snapshot of you can spend time there, but there's a cap to how far you can go. There's a limit to how much progression you can go. And once you hit that progression, you're kind of done with that character. There's not much you can really do on them anymore, and there's not a whole lot of incentive to really play. So that's why I'm excited about the new expansions coming out, or the new releases on Mangler. But I think regardless of whatever you play this game, I hope everyone enjoys or has enjoyed the time that they've gotten to spend on this game. I know I definitely have. I've really been enjoying my time here on Mangler, and I've definitely enjoyed the years that I spent on P99, and I've got nothing but good things to say about them. I think it's just whatever you pick is up to your own tastes, whatever your own time sync, whatever your own schedule is. No knocks or denigrations towards either community per se. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.